Yes.
All right. So,
It's been one of those days. I've had back-to-back meetings since 8 a.m. and then I've got all my reading and work to do tonight. Can you see
okay.
me okay? Is everything? Because I realized I put you on my laptop and I can't source you. I can't do it from a laptop, so I have to put you back on my iPad or my phone. That was the
This
trouble with this week.
this actually looks better. So,
Okay.
looks more clear. You're more HD. So, all right, let's start. 190 COVID cases, 350 people sent home from the Canada Post facility in Mississauga. Did Peel Public Health fail us in regards to getting this information out? Because this information came out more from the
The company,
unions, the employees,
the company.
and yeah, and Peel Public Health was nowhere to be seen, and Dr. Lowe was absent. Like, what happened?
In fairness, our policy, only if it's a public-facing business that actually there's a harm or a public risk to residents do we announce the name of the company. And it was Canada Post that came forward, along with the union, of course, to say that they had an outbreak. And I believe there are 200 people isolating right now. And Canada Post, as well as Amazon, are two of the large companies that are using rapid testing.
Okay. So, in regards to this, though, isn't this more a public health failure just because, I mean, it was 15 days that this didn't go unheard, and really, and these people go home, they go to grocery stores and everything. So, isn't this kind of I don't know, didn't public health kind of fail us here?
No, I don't think so, because I don't think they were aware there was an outbreak at the time. If they had been doing rapid testing sooner, there might have been. But listen, at least Canada Post is one of those companies that provides sick days. You know,
Okay.
so I'm very pleased about that. So those employees that are home isolating and quarantine, self-quarantine, they are receiving benefits. They are receiving sick pay for staying at home, because we've got some new research that I was hoping I could share with you that Dr. Lowe shared with us yesterday, because
Okay.
they been tracing symptomatic workers, people who went to work where there was an outbreak since August. And they looked at almost 8,000 employees who were symptomatic. So this was 7,900 and change. So let's call it 8,000. And out of that, almost 2,000, so that's 25%, were continuing to go to work symptomatic because they had to.
Okay.
And 25% continue to go to work symptomatic. They had to make the choice. Do I go to work sick or stay home as I should? They probably didn't have sick pay benefits, so they continued to work because they had to put food on the table and pay their rent, right? And more interestingly, 81% had a positive COVID test and continued to go to work.
Okay. Are they allowed to do that though? Like, as if they get.
No, of course not. But they're not telling anyone. They're continuing to go to work. They're symptomatic, but they're maybe, I don't know what they're doing, or maybe they're not symptomatic. Sorry, they don't have severe symptoms, let's call it that. But they
Yeah.
know they're COVID positive, and they continue to go to work because they have to, because they don't have sick pay benefits. So if anything speaks more clearly to the need for sick pay benefits or sick days, it's
Yeah.
this new study. So just telling you, because there's may be an op-ed on this topic coming up soon.
Okay. And then, sorry, let's good segue into sick pay. I mean, what's going on with this? Because obviously we hear, the mayor's screaming at the province, the feds and province are playing the biggest big game of ping pong I've ever seen. What's going on?
Interestingly, you should ask. We just actually spoke with the federal minister of health and had this
Okay.
very conversation with her, yes. And she feels very strongly that the federal government has done as much as they can and done quite a bit with respect to providing those financial supports. And as we know today, there have been a number of reports today that are suggesting that the province is sitting on $6.4 billion that needs to flow that money to municipalities, to public health, and to individuals in forms of support, and to long-term care homes. That money needs to flow. It's been negotiated with the federal government, and they're still sitting, it's still in abeyance. So they need to flow the money. I'm sure you saw those reports this morning as well. I think the amount was $6.4 billion that needs to be distributed. Mhm.
A lot of talk about airports. Do you think the airports should be closed to international travelers?
So let's just say there is a lot of talk about airports, and airports are definitely a federal jurisdiction. So while I appreciate the premier taking an interest in them, it's wonderful that he cares, but his focus is his responsibilities are a little bit different. So travel, the borders are closed, correct? There is no tourism travel permitted, only essential travel. The people you see coming through the airport are largely Canadians who have been abroad, or people who are on essential travel. And so I know he made the point of saying there was a 2.5% positivity rate. So initially, I think we had this conversation, it was 1%, then it grew up to 2%. But now there are protections in place. You need to prove that you've had a negative COVID test within 3 days of traveling. So that's one layer of protection. Then there's another layer of protection. You can do a voluntary test when you land, right there, a rapid test. And the results will be, I don't know if it's in 1 hour or in 24 hours, but nonetheless, that will cover that 3-day period and the airline travel, right? And then if you do another test within a week, it'd be nice if you did another test within 7 days to prove that, even that interim period you've been home isolating and you didn't get COVID at the airport traveling, then it would have been nice if they could have waived the second week of quarantine, but they haven't made any decisions about that. But it is another layer of protection, and certainly Canadians don't want to see people traveling. They don't want to see airplanes landing, and I don't blame them. I don't either. So they should be assured that the only people that are traveling or should be traveling are Canadians returning home. It's a question of whether those Canadians should have been traveling themselves. We should all call on the federal government to say, hey, this isn't the time to book your March break. That should wait till next year. Nobody should be traveling this year. That stay home means stay home. Or people who are essential, with respect to essential companies and supply chain, et cetera, that need to be present here.
There's always a hot topic of the week, and last week's hot topic, which I'll ask you this week again, big box stores. Have you given, or is it you that gives out tickets to the city of Mississauga, or is it the province that's given out tickets to the big box stores around here?
So there has been nothing changed since our previous conversation. Oh shoot, I forgot to print it. But there were no big box stores that were cited with any violation. We were citing more of the pickup soccer games, more of the speakeasies, the card games, the hookah shisha parties.
Yeah. Okay, talk about that then. Talk about that. You still
happen all the time. They think they're under the radar, but they're not. Our bylaw know about them. They know they're occurring, and they know the kinds of places that they occur, and they're busting people. They're busting individuals. The hosts get $100,000 fine, and individuals who are present, $750 when you add tax, $880, folks. You think you're going to go play cards in a commercial unit with the boys? Think again. It could be a very expensive card game, notwithstanding whatever money you won or lost that night.
What are these people saying? I mean, like, are they saying they just don't know, or are they just saying, whatever?
Oh, sorry.
So are the bylaw officers being just as busy now as they were ever?
In fact, this was a very busy weekend. While we're speaking, I'll see if I can call it. This was a very busy weekend for enforcement. The first weekend of the stay-home measure was quieter. This one was busier. Here, let me see if I can find it, Sam. While we're speaking, I should have printed it. I forgot.
No worries. But no rush on this chat. But we did some good news, though. I mean, we can get back to while you're printing. It's the lowest number since December 17th today.
Correct. We're definitely stabilizing. We're definitely going down. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, our numbers are still, oh God, I have printed up all these wonderful things.
Sorry, take your time.
Cover them all up for you too. So we are, on Friday, we were 187 cases per 100,000 with a positivity of 9%. So the week previous to that, it was 200 cases with a 10% positivity. So the numbers come out tonight, but I'm fairly sure we'll be 150 because it's been 140, 130, 120, 150. So it's definitely coming in the right direction. And I'm very, very pleased about that. But so it's stabilizing and coming down. Here it is, incident management. But it's one UK variant outbreak, and
Well,
the kind of post numbers in themselves could drive things. But those people, it depends where you live,
yeah.
okay? You get the demerit point based on where you live. The cases reflect your residence. Monday, tile store, 1 ticket. Wednesday, private resident gathering. Host got a big ticket. Thursday, barbershop, 4 tickets. Friday, restaurant private gathering. Massage parlor, private residence gathering. Another one, restaurant private gathering. Saturday, private residence gathering. Saturday, photo studio, so not essential, right?
Yeah.
Private, and then also private gathering in a commercial space, 18 tickets, 1 Part 3 summons. That's $100,000 right there. Sunday,
What were they doing? Do you know what they were doing?
private gathering. Typically, it's
Yeah.
gambling. It's
Okay.
card game and shisha, hookah, whatever, alcohol sometimes. Sunday, social club card game, 12 tickets. And also private residential gathering, 1 ticket. 5 tickets, 5 warnings issued for face coverings. Security highlights, 3 incidents. January 22nd, 8 playing soccer at community park. We were educated and informed. 23rd, resident reported 20 people skating at Osprey Marsh Pond. Okay, educated for a whole other reason. That's unsafe.
Yeah.
That ice is not stable, folks. That's the reason they were warned. January 24th, PRP, Peel Police reported persons, okay, again on Osprey Pond. So they have to be vigilant. I know it looks lovely, but that ice was not stable, is not stable yet. Maybe after today. Looks like the snow is really coming down.
Yeah, yeah. So it's still, well, it's not snowing anymore here, but is it?
It's here. Oh, yes.
Is it really? You're in south. I'm in
the
north.
south. Are you
I'm in the north.
Are you
I'm
Midtown?
Mississauga. I'm north, kind of heartland area. Maybe I shouldn't say that. But yeah.
Okay.
Um,
No, it's really coming down.
so the broken record question, February 11th, you think we'll open? Do you think, I mean, not open fully, but like, red zone?
It's starting to be possible, right?
Yeah.
Starting to be possible. I would expect he may add 2 more weeks to it just to be sure, and then reopen with capacity limits. Don't take, that's probably that's what I would do. So I'm projecting. Let's just be sure, right? But then it takes just one Roberta Place in Barrie, right, to change the numbers dramatically. And oh my gosh, the number of seniors that have passed away there, right? It's such a virulent strain. Apparently, so what I understood, it was a staff member's spouse that had traveled to the UK for work, essential business, came back and was self-isolating, but in the same home. Didn't go to an isolation center, thought they were safe in the home, and they didn't cross paths. Wow. So the employee thought that it was safe, and they had been testing negative, went to work, and suddenly there's a huge outbreak, and now there's a huge community outbreak in Barrie as well. So this new strain from the UK, extremely virulent, and they think maybe airborne, not just through droplets. So always the same rules apply. Keep your safe physical distance, right? And if it's airborne, you may have to keep even more than 6 feet, 2 meters. The mask protects somebody else from you, not you from someone else. So a shield at that point, I would think. But they should be in an isolation center. If they have the UK variant, they need to isolate not at home, but in an isolation center on their own, where they can't transmit to their loved ones and beyond.
Have we seen the UK variant in Mississauga?
No, we're watching very closely. I got the update from the hospital yesterday. Things are looking better in the hospital too. So I mean, it's not only our case numbers, and you know that. It's more so I'm more concerned about the hospitals. Okay. So they did yesterday 703 tests, 122 were positive. That is a 17% positivity rate, by the way. They've done 240,000 tests. That's pretty incredible. They have 66 staffers out. They have 63 patients in the hospital with COVID, but 2 weeks ago it was 150. So that is good news, right? That is very good news. In the ICU, is down as well. Where's my ICU number? 13. And we know that that was over 30 2 weeks ago as well. So really starting to stabilize. But then again, they have transferred 165 patients out of Trillium Health Partners to other hospitals.
Okay.
So some of our numbers have gone down just because of patient transfers, or patients recovered, went home, and there is a small number that have passed as well. But they have outbreaks in 5 units. And I've got the updated vaccine numbers too, which is really good news. Trillium Health Partners has now vaccinated hospital staff, frontline healthcare workers, paramedics, fire frontline workers, 11,000. Very good.
Okay.
William Osler, 8,000, 8 and change, 8,300. And Peel Public Health. So that's all our long-term care facilities, the patients, the residents, and the staff, those who are willing. And also the high-risk seniors homes where we have the seniors outbreaks. And so it's almost 28,000 vaccines administered in Peel. So in Mississauga, that number would be almost 20,000.
Mayor Brown mentioned on Friday that all the long-term care centers in Brampton have been vaccinated.
Yes,
they have been. Okay,
they have as well, and that was last week, and also the high-risk seniors homes too. So right now we have enough vaccine for second doses for these people, because of course, you know, there's a delay with the upsizing of the Belgian plant of Pfizer.
A lot more problems now too, but
yeah, and AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson both look promising, and they're in final stages for approvals. So
okay. So let me ask you this. You know how we were talking about, I guess, long-term care workers and employees, caretakers that don't want to take the vaccine. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, of course, you can't compel anyone. They are voluntary. You can't require them. People have a variety of reasons why they don't want to take the test. Some people question the science. They were created too quickly. There's a confidence issue. Some philosophically opposed to immunizations. They have a variety of reasons. Some of it's just logistical. I can't get there, you know, on my day off without taking 5 buses, or a whole host of reasons why they haven't. And we know that there's been under 50% take up among staff. So we need to get those numbers up. I encourage everyone to do it. I will do it. I will certainly do it. I hope you do it when it comes time. I'm not in the lineup for a few more months, but that's okay. That's okay. I'll keep taking precautions. And it's not foolproof, because you could be asymptomatic. You could carry COVID, even though you will not get it. You could have had the vaccine and not get COVID yourself, but they're not sure if you could still carry it to someone else, and what the longevity, what the lifespan of the vaccine is. Does it mean we have to inoculate each year, or is it good for a period of years? That we don't know that yet, because it's obviously very new, right? So yes, I encourage everybody to get the vaccine. I will too, and it's my time when it's my turn. That was quite a spectacular story about that CEO in Vancouver and his actress wife going up to the Yukon to jump the queue. My goodness, and the amount of deception that needed to be done to charter the plane and pretend they were locals. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm 100% getting it. So I'll be behind you. Okay, so.
I'm a little older. See, that's the thing. I'm a little older, and it goes by age category.
We're about the same age. I just shaved my head.
I don't think so. You Googled my age? Oh my goodness.
Let's talk about isolation centers. Do you know have been people going to?
You know what? I don't have the answer to that. I'll try and get it for you for next week. Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful place.
Yeah, they look gorgeous.
Lovely. You know, if I had to go isolate, I go isolate there for sure.
So let's get to some viewer questions here. One viewer asks, is this lockdown going to keep on going until everybody becomes vaccinated?
No.
Okay.
No, because the vaccine, we won't all be vaccinated. I mean, I think till the fall, and then there will be, you know, younger people in the fall. It'll be open to average people by September, as available as the flu vaccine. No. We'll have to reopen before then. But, you know, in fairness, I'd rather keep the lockdown going until I'm confident, we have capacity in our hospitals and we have the virus under control. I think, what some of the feedback I've heard from our small businesses, I've got lots of feedback, most of it pretty negative, but that they don't, it's the reopening and closing, and then reopening and then closing. They get their hopes up, they staff up, they recall all their staff, they order in, if it's a restaurant, all the food, only to find out they have to close 2 or 3 weeks later. So it's the opening and closings that are more harmful. So let's get it right. Let's stay closed until we're sure, and then open and stay open. And I think step one will be capacity limits for everyone, and rightly so. We should all be very cautious. That's the best thing we can do. Just stay away from other people. Don't let them get in our airspace. Don't let them transmit that virus to us.
Another question we have from a viewer: are schools in Peel going to reopen February 10th? They put any hints from the province?
I haven't heard. These are kind of, I like to call game day decisions, that we have to get a little closer to game day. We get a little closer because things are starting to look positive, right? There are students who have gone back to school, except for Peel and Toronto. There are regions that have gone back. I think we just have to get a little closer to those dates to know for sure. But things are on a good track. Things are on a very good track. So people are being good. I mean, this is a direct result of the Christmas shopping, Christmas parties, New Year's Eve, and then I worry about March break and Family Day weekend. These are the kinds of activities that bring people together, and they're not supposed to be coming together. And then we see the surge. So. Okay.
Another question we have, can Peel Public Health use more social media to distribute COVID info to younger people?
That's an excellent question, because they think they do.
Who thinks they do? Like the government?
Public Health think they have a great comms plan. They need you. They need you, Khaled, to give them advice. There's been lots of talk about Mayor Brown and I doing your TikTok videos and all that. And so I don't know how effective that is, or get on different platforms. I mean, my social media is pretty active, although I'm only on the traditional, channels, Instagram story. I'm not on Snapchat. I deleted it. Facebook and Twitter. Those are kind of my 3 basic staples. There are people who are on others. I'm not yet. We've been talking about TikTok. I don't know if your viewers have suggestions on how we get that out, and which vehicles to use that would be effective to reach young people. I'd be listening. Okay. We have these conversations all the time, or how do you better get the message out? Remember, though, there was the period of time where we knew it was 20 to 30-year-olds spreading the virus, and we didn't know how to communicate to them. It's you, stay home. We know what you're up to. We know you're gathering with your friends.
Yeah, I've sold my soul, and I'm on TikTok now. So there
you go. I know. It's a big commitment, though. You have to fuel the beast, right? You have to keep the
yes. It's really is. But it is working. I mean, we're getting one of our videos got 300,000 views.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when I do mine, and then you can pump it up a bit.
Well, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll do one together. Oh yeah, this is a good one. What can we do to stop the spread of misinformation online? Can the city do anything?
Not really, but there are those filters in place. I know so often I click on something and it has kind of a COVID alert. You are entering the COVID zone, and I think they are monitoring it at Facebook for misinformation, and at Twitter, etc. I've seen those COVID alerts. I'm sure you have as well. Yeah. I don't know how we police it. I don't know that it's our responsibility. The problem is, I know that those social media companies don't feel it's their responsibility either. But the misinformation, best thing to do is to check Peel Public Health, or some of the other, wherever people live, the public health, or call in the question, email in the question, because you've read it on social media, as you say. Chances are it's possible it's not true, right? Mm-hmm.
And let's end with a positive note. Hazel McCallion is turning 100, and I just got an email from Ron Duquette saying that there's like 100 minutes or something. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about that?
I know. I spent some time between the break between Christmas and New Year's. I was going in and taping remarks, and I'm the MC of that event. So that's how That's how I spent my break.
Yeah.
Taping and doing interviews and baking banana bread. That's what I did during my break. Yeah, that video I put out, that was how I spent my Christmas to New Year's break.
Okay.
Reading, watching Netflix, making banana bread. But no, I was also taping the remarks. It's going to be a great show. So lots of people from Hazel's past, Hazel's present, lots of, celebrity sightings, portraits. Celebrities will pop in, do their cameo roles, as will a lot of politicians that you will know, not just us, but provincially, federally, etc. People that everyone will be familiar with, stars, Paul Henderson kind of people. It'll be fun. It'll be great. You will love it. There'll be music, some speeches, a lot of reminiscing down memory lane, or the railway disaster, and like just lots of reminiscing about all the things that started our city, that really pay tribute to Hazel's legacy. And she'll be thrilled, I'm sure. I know that the city did a little video that we will be featuring on February 10th, when we present her with the unveiling of the Miss Hazel McCallie Central Library. And we're pretty pleased with our little video, but it won't compare to the Ron Duquette and Mike Douglas, the big video that's been done. I mean, I know everybody wanted to have a big 100th birthday gala, much like Hazel's retirement party back in 2014. But of course we can't do that. So this has got to be the next best thing. But it's very exciting. She's going to be thrilled, and everybody from her past and present will make an appearance. And I think she'll love it.
Is this a surprise? This isn't a surprise for her, is it? No. Okay.
No, she's aware of it. She's aware of it, and she's done a lot for her birthday. She loaned her name and her birthday for fundraising for the Trillium Health Partners Hospital. Right, we did the souvenir book.
Nice.
In your favorite picture with Hazel, and you paid advertisement, whatever, and all the money they've raised, over $2.5 million to go to Trillium Health Partners. Fantastic. It's fantastic. So she loaned her name to a cause, and that's really wonderful. So she's done some great stuff, and she's a great woman. So we want to honor her, right? Pay tribute. And if we can't have a big party, this is the next best thing.
And where can people see this? Is this going to be on YouTube Live, or is it?
I know you were going to ask me that. Yeah, Mike Douglas was just texting me on who do we contact to get the word out. So why don't we say details to follow? But there will be, an opportunity to log in. As everything, you'll probably get an email, a link to a YouTube site, and you'll log in and watch it. It'll be long, an hour and a half.
Yeah, 100 minutes. So, okay.
100 minutes for the 100th birthday, of course,
yes.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah, she'll be happy. I'm very pleased. It'll be great. It'll be a great show, and lots of local talent, which really excited me. Everybody in the community close to Hazel and who admired her so greatly. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Thank you so much once again. I'll see you next week.
Thank you.